going to do. Knockdown. Goes with the projectile to pressure the opponent. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Picks the drive reversal. Opts to use the gauge for the drive reversal. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. Takes a trip. Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Both fighters are trying to decide their next move. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Burnout activates. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Player 1 has completely used all of their drive gauge, but they still have enough life left to take the round if they play smart. Good job blocking the jumper. They're experiencing burnout. It's turned into a driveless fight. How will they play it? You see that? Slips through the opening for the KO. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Opts to create space to start. Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. They're still feeling each other out. They break things off to take a quick breather. Feeling out the spacing. Somehow pushes back all the way to center stage. Gets out of the corner and creates some distance. Time's the only thing moving here. Picks the drive reversal. Spends some drive gauge on the reversal. Big counter. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Blocks it. They're going for the super art? That's not gonna hit. It'll be interesting to see how they decide to fill up their super art gauges here. Level 3 super! Spending that meter like it's nobody's business. Player 2 can't use any drive moves without burning out. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Barely blocks the jump in. Looking for a chance. The low! Watching each other carefully. Who will make the first move? Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player blow heavy, but no go! There's an overdrive Hado! There's a burnout! They're both out of drive gauge. Will they press on or wait it out? What are they gonna knock them out of the air? Any mistake here is gonna be fatal. What's it gonna be? One player is in burnout state. Is it time to end this? A jump in? The drive impact doesn't work. Denies the jump in attempt. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now.
Final round. Fight.
Who will come out on top in this final round? Hits the drive. Manages to block the jump with much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Can this drive bring them back? Player 2 can't use drive anymore. Drive, there's a burnout. Player 2 is in burnout state. Okay, knocks them out of the air. Player 1 is, how do they read that throw? Connects with the throw. The drive impact doesn't work. All with a no throw. The low. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, what a throw set. Player 2 needs to use their drive moves to have any chance of a comeback. Uses their drive gauge. Reads the jump in perfectly. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Gets to the point where they're looking to connect with an overdrive arc. Denies the jump in attempt. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Round 1. Fight.
The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for nationals. It's time to go all in. Cross up. Tried a standard block and got hit with the cross up. Who will gain control of the match in the early going? On dangerous turf. Easy to get tagged at this range. Both fighters are sitting on a full drive gauge. This might be prime time to let it rip. Looking for a way to incorporate their drive. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the down to the wire. You can use a drive rush like heats it up with a combo into super. Both fighters are working with empty drive gauges, but I'm sure they want to make something happen. Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Player 2 is working with a less than ideal drive gauge. They'll need to be very careful here. Nails the anti-air. Checks him with the projectile. Player 1 can't afford to get good heads-up decision, opting for the drive impact. Player 2 has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still within range to come from behind to pick up the win. They took advantage of every chance. Player 1 wins the first round and is now riding a huge wave of momentum. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Both fighters are looking for a way to get in, but there's still time to feel out the situation. They're still feeling each other out. Brushes that off and keeps going. Player uses the gauge for a super arm. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous round of burnout for a while. What'll happen? Just goes for it at this range. Perfect KO. They were in full control there. That was a clinic on how a solid neutral game wins matches.
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what these fighters have up their sleeves out of the gate. Nothing but air for the impact. Whiffing a drive impact opens a huge window to get punished. Ooh, will they hit, whiff, or even charge in? Tricky territory here. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. They need to hold out. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? No good up high. Grabs him. All right. Drive gauge finally recovers. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Does a good job of pushing back. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. Projectile to try and change the situation. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. Holds out with the block. Time's the only thing moving here. Was looking for that jump attack. Hits him in the gut. Hits with the overhead. Both fighters planning something? Blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. KO! Player 2 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling.
Round 2. Fight.
Goes for the jump in to start. This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Things are slow going right now, but we may see someone speed things up soon. They're still feeling each other out. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. Time's the only thing moving here. Pokes with a medium kick. Decides to meet them in the air. Smart play there to go for the air-to-air. Even if it can't lead to a combo, it's low risk but effective. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who manages it best. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Midway point of the round. Time to get serious. Still lots of time left in this fight. Our fighters are at a standstill. What's the play here? Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. That's a counter. Barely blocks the jump in. Both fighters have burnout activates. Player 2 has an empty drive here. This is a very precarious situation. Jinrai kick from knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. No time to waste. Attempts to break the stalemate with the fireball. A back throw for damage and vital positioning. Their life is hanging by a thread. Were they looking to connect with an overdrive art from this situation? Will this super art do anything? What were they thinking? Will this be enough to kill? That amazing never say die attitude got them the win. Player 2 is a force to be reckoned with.
Round 1. Fight.
Hits the drive. G-right kick for a mix-up. Still very early in the round. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? A battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. Who's gonna make a move? Player 2 is just about out of drive after that. Shows the overhead. What are they thinking here? Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. They need to hold out. Player 1 has the life lead. Lays on the pressure with the projectile. Is the fireball part of their corner game? Player 2 creates a good corner opportunity. Takes a trip. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Where's their opening? Ends with the projectile. Player 1 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Opts for the air-to-air encounter. Smart play there to go for the air-to-air. Even if it can't lead to a combo, it's low risk but effective. Projectile to try and change the situation. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump. Baits out the attack and gets the punish counter. It's back with the drive impact on the recovery. This punish counter presents a huge chance. You've got to be mindful of reaching. Charges forward. Both fighters are out of drive. Might be a good idea to back off, but they might try going on the offensive. Jumps in. There's a change of sides. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Big opportunity now in this corner. Excellent block. What are they willing to risk it for the overdrive? What a read with that anti-air. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win?
Final round. Fight.
This is it. Who's gonna take it all? Zones with the fireball. Both fighters are standing firm with plenty of health remaining. They're waiting for the opportunity to bust this match wide open. Super Arts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. This is where smart meter management is going to come into play. Our fighters will need to tread carefully. Their spacing is so on point right now, but who's gonna blink first? Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Clocks it. Hits him with a stop and pop. Good job escaping that dangerous corner situation. Does a good job escaping the corner. Super Art on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. This is the ideal range to utilize the fireball game. Good distance for a shot. It adds a bit of OD spice there. Player 1 with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. They are absolutely wailing on each other in the middle of the stage. Springs forward with the drive rush. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Willing to risk it for the overdrive. Oh, here we go. This is a gigantic life lead. Close range projectile. Gets it the perfect fireball. What'll be the plan here? What are they gonna do? Oh, kisses the fireball. Player 1 gets the win in a convincing fashion.
Round 1. Fight.
Here fuses their drive gauge. They were expecting that drive impact. From up above, you can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Player 1 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. Now they can create some big chances to do damage here. No good up front. Time to do some damage after that wall splat. They couldn't escape the pressure of the impact. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover, or are they in trouble here? That attack landed for a counter hit. They'll have to decide how to follow up. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important here. Projectile to try and change the situation. Anything could happen here. Parries the projectile. Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Time's the only thing moving here. Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. In a dire situation, they can't afford any mistakes. They decide to hang back and rethink their game plan. Not much time left in this round. This round may end via timeout. Will either fighter do anything before time's up? Oh god, they can't squander this punish time, okay? Oh. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight.
This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Player 2 did a great job of reading their opponent up close that last round. Can they keep the momentum? This fight is just underway. What kind of game plan do they have? Holds out with a block. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some fireworks. Meter management is going to be a huge factor right now. That drive impact doesn't get through. Forcefully closes the gap. Player 2 will need to play it conservative until their burnout activates. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Out of drive game. Now's the time. Triple Jinrai hit. Good damage option there. What'll happen here? Player 1 just put themselves on equal footing with that super. Nobody blinked. Plenty of time left for some drama. Still lots of time left in this fight. This Shin Hashogaki is gonna sting. Knockdown tries to make something happen with an overdrive arm. Player 2 will look to him. There's a burnout. Amazing. This reaches some big damage. Crown closes it out. Here's the final round. The real fight starting now.
Final round. Fight.
Uses their drive gauge. This is it. Who's gonna take it all? Experiencing burnout. We're just getting started here. Who will take control? Player 2 has an empty drive gauge. Low, heavy, but no go. Carried to the corner. This may be bad news. Drops it hard. Jinrai? The low. Somehow there's nothing stops this train. Only passes out the cage right there. Do it to them. Show the people what they came to see, Ryu.
This is the path I have chosen.
This is going to hurt. Tons of space between the buttons. Hits the drive. Player and whiffs. They're wide open. A real test of turns out. This is, are you kidding me? Player 1 is a force to be reckoned with.
Round 1. Fight.
Tries to make something happen with an overdrive arm. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Player 2 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Player 2 needs to deal with this burnout. Throws them to negate the block. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Decides to puff up while they can. Goes to the overdrive. Life lead opens up. Ends with the projectile. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Did well to get the buff in there. Player 2 did a great job of reading their opponent up close in that last round. Can they keep the momentum? Nails the anti-air. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Overhead. Jinrai kick for a mix-up. Player experiencing burnout. Time's the only thing moving here. Player 1 needs to deal with this burnout. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Gets a risky buff in. Knockdown and medium kick hits. The throw missed. Player one doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Going in? Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Max SA gauges. Unbelievably in sync with a chance to score big here. Drive rush to keep it going. Close in the distance. Jumps. Burnout activates. Player two will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. A jump crowns him from above. Ooh, what a smart throw. Player two can't use any drive grip. Gotta play it safe. Critical art is on deck. Just what they were after. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round one.
The first round begins. No time to save that stuff for Nationals. It's time to go all in. Surprises them with a drive rush. So, a drive rush can really close the distance, putting moves that would otherwise be out of reach in that sweet spot to launch a surprise attack. Player two has used up all of their drive gauge. They need to hold out. Player two in that dangerous burnout state. We've got both sides without a drive gauge. How will they overcome this? Will they press the attack or wait and recover? This could be make or break. Player two pushes the opponent into the corner. What are they thinking here? So they break forward to pressure the opponent. One fighter's drive gauge is just about empty. Can they recover or are they in trouble here? Gets the knockdown and now, trying to read each other here? Drive gauge finally recovers. Misses the drive impact. Anything could happen here. No more drive gauge. The drive impact whiffs. Are they ready to punish? This is the range where things get messy. Picks up the win with the counter hit. Looked like they were baiting their opponent into making a mistake. Player two on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Checking their reactions with a fireball? Lets off a projectile to waste time. Parries the projectile. It's not easy to parry projectiles in the heat of a match, but it's definitely effective. Early round decisions are so important to set the tone. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Parries to cancel the fireball. Saw the projectile easily. They'll want to be careful of positioning here while on the lookout for more projectiles. Jumps up. Hold your breath. Good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. Player one has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. Big flex. The broken jaw. Shin Shoryuken. Gets him with the anti-air. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Drops him with a Shoryu. Blocks it. Both and eats it. Connects with the throw. A jump. That gets him with a Euro step. They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? Drops him hard. Cross-up attack. Then hits the drive. Oh, critical art now? Just what they were after. Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
Round one. Fight.
Time to get down to business. The first round starts now. Burns the drive gauge. They're still in the early going, and it's really anyone's fight. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move, or you're going to eat tons of damage. Who's going to break the silence first? All right. Well, they managed to escape the corner, but they can't let their guard down. Player two in that dangerous burnout state. Can they outlast it? Player two has used up all of their drive gauge. Which of these fighters are going to get the SA gauge advantage here? Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Shoots off a fireball up close. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. They break things off to take a quick breather. A big drive gauge disparity has opened up, and it wouldn't surprise me if they try to open that gap further. They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Heading into the end game now, it's getting tense. This is a good opt for the throw to close it out. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage.
Round 2. Fight!
Checking their reaction to the fireball? They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Player 2 had a hard time managing their drive gauge last round, and I'm sure they're aware that they need to start adapting. This charges forward. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be experiencing burnout. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. They're going for the super arc. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is a very precarious situation. We have one player in burnout state, which means they'll have to continue to fight temporarily without using any drive-reliant moves. Burnout activates. They decide to take a breather to regroup. Out of range, relatively safe. Midway point of the round. Time to get serious. Halfway through this round. Still lots of time left in this fight. Player 2 will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. This Shin Hashogeki is gonna sting. Just goes for it at this range. Oh no, they're stunned. Not much life left, but their drive usage may save them. Stuck in the corner, but not going down without a fight. Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Jumps in. Reversal. Hold your breath. Oh, could be the start of something. Low heavy. Their life throws them. Life lead is there, but still anyone who goes for the invincible special, they were confident that would hit. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point.
Fight round. Fight!
Overdrive Hado! This is it! Who's gonna take it all? Player 2 managed their drive gauge well to create lots of opportunities for themselves. Let's see if they can maintain this rhythm. Blocks it. Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. Player 1 will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Drive gauge gap here. Drive gauge is almost empty. They gotta be careful. So, what's next? Oh, the throw connects. That throw will do some good damage. Jump! Barely blocks the jump in. They're in range. We gotta see crown them from above. Player 2 can build off this lead. Tries to act quickly, but with the attack. Handle with care. You can't drop drive impacts. Halfway through the round. Close range projectile. Things are very tense as this exchange continues. Dangerous range here. Ooh, you never know what can happen here. All whiff and no throw.
Too slow!
Jump!
Hadouken! Hadouken!
All the throw connects. Low heavy, but no go. Oh, shrug that off. Oh, putting the cherry on top. Sits him down with the super. Now that's how you take a round.
How'd I lose?
Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Round 1. Fight!
The first uses their drive gauge.
Hadouken! Hadouken! Take this!
Parries the projectile. Now what's the follow-up? Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Knockdown. There's a wall splat, which leaves them wide open. They couldn't escape the pressure of the impact. Player 2 has a slight life lead that they may sit on. Can they exploit this advantage? Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Trips them up. Can't tech the throw? Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Keeping them in the corner will only produce more damage opportunities. Checks them with the projectile. You know their fireball game is solid because they're only throwing it when their opponent can't jump them. That's some big juicy damage on that counter hit. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. The jump in catches them. Holds out with the block. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. Opts for the throw to close it out. Player 2